The room was warm with lamplight and the scent of glue. Leather scraps curled like autumn leaves. The father worked silently, his hands steady. The child leaned on the doorframe, watching. They had seen their father here 100 times, but something felt different tonight. He was more careful, more focused. The child's curiosity began to spark. The house was silent, save for the ticking clock. The child lay still, blanket pulled to their chin. Then, a soft creak. The front door opened, then clicked shut. Bare feet touched the floor. They tiptoed to the window, heart pounding. Their father disappeared into the night, a bag slung over his shoulder. The night air bit at their skin. The street glowed in patches of orange and shadow. The child followed barefoot, each step silent. Their father walked steadily, never looking back. The bag on his shoulder swung gently. Where was he going? And why? They reached a side street, quiet and worn. The father paused beside a crumbling building. He knelt, carefully setting the cloth bag on the step. Inside were polished shoes, tiny ones, large ones. He stood, looked up at a dark window, and bowed his head briefly, then turned to leave, unaware he'd been seen. The sheets felt cold now. The child lay wide-eyed, heart buzzing. Shoes left at a doorstep. But whose? Why did he go in secret? What did it mean? One thing was certain, they would ask. But not just yet. The toast sat untouched. The father hummed softly, sipping tea. The child watched him, really watched him. How could someone so quiet do something so mysterious? Their mouth opened to ask, then closed. Not yet. Not until they were sure. The alley looked smaller in daylight. The step was clean. No shoes. Only a folded note, weighed down with a pebble. The child unfolded it slowly. Bless you, kind soul. You keep us going. Yanaki. Their hands trembled. The shoes weren't for money. They were for hope. The brush moved in circles, slow and careful. The father looked up, surprised, but said nothing. He handed the child another shoe. They worked side by side, silent partners. Each polish, each stitch felt like understanding. The child didn't ask, but the father smiled anyway. The street stretched before them, moonlight and shadow. 2 sets of footsteps, 2 cloth bags. The child held tight to the strap, proud. They didn't need words. They knew now, this was more than shoes. It was legacy and love. Every doorstep told a story. A polished pear, a folded note, a family lifted. Their father never asked for thanks. He simply gave what he could, in the way he knew best. And now, so did the child. Because kindness, they learned, walks quietly, but it leaves footprints everywhere. Rain drummed gently on their shared umbrella. Puddles mirrored the glow of sleepy street lamps. The child's bag was lighter than the father's, but felt full of meaning. They didn't speak, yet their rhythm matched. Even the rain couldn't wash away their purpose. The door creaked slowly, hinges tired with age. She stared down at the bundle, eyes wide. Unwrapping it, her breath caught, a perfect fit. She clutched the shoes, whispering, "Thank you," to the wind. Some gifts speak without names. Paper tags scattered like leaves. The child added hearts to each, small and red. Across the table, the father stitched silently. Their shadows danced in the flickering lamp glow. Kindness was being crafted, stitch by stitch. Whoever it is, they fixed my boots perfectly. Yeah. They left shoes for my kids. It saved us. Yee-hai. Stories circled the square like warm air. But the giver remained a mystery. Exactly as he wished. The shop still smelled of leather and memory. New hands wore the apron now. Grown, yet grateful. A wooden sign creaked gently. Shoes for all hearts. The craft lived on. So did the kindness. Because love, like leather, is strongest when passed on. Snow muffled their steps like a lullaby. Windows glowed with warmth behind frosted glass. They left bundles, gently, like blessings. The cold didn't reach their hearts. Shoes gleamed beside ribbon-tied packages. The air smelled of wax and spice. Candles flickered as joy gathered quietly. Even gifts unwrapped could feel like magic. Doors creaked open one by one. Faces lit with surprise and something softer. Notes clutched close. Shoes held with care. The morning began not just with light, but with love. The apron fit a new waist now. Hands guided hands brush against leather. The past became lesson. The silence became story. Kindness was still being stitched into every soul. The town shimmered with quiet light. Doorsteps glowed like embers, one by one. Kindness moved through cobblestones in silence. It had a new name now, but the same warm heart.